Hello, welcome to Mystic Revolution with Susana and Wendy. And this is our new season. It's called Mastering Our Energy. And we're going to start with a meditation. So if you'd like, close your eyes, tune into your inner world, feel your skin, tune into your own body, present time. Feel your weight in the chair and notice that the earth is drawing you in. Gravity is pulling your butt to the earth. And let yourself relax and let go like sand in your hands. Let go of the day. Let go of the troubles. And just notice that you have a body and your body is part of the earth. Here we are in the earth game. Good. And notice your attention. If we tend to have it all over space and time, just let your attention be like little sparks of light and let them come back to you, come back inside your skin. And as you breathe in all of your attention. And now let your little sparks of light have a little party. How about right at the top of your head? All your attention at the top of your head, like a little sun or a candle flame. Good, and let that little sun of your attention fall now to the center of your head, behind your third eye, behind and above a little bit your eyes, between your ears and up. Good, and rest. Just rest as we finish our meditation, noticing that we have bodies connected to the earth, and we have our attention here in our body. And we are aflow with the beautiful spiritual energies from the heavens. Great. And when you're ready, you can start to let yourself come back to everyday consciousness. And we're coming out of meditation. You can stay in the meditative state as we start, but I'm going to say hi to Susana, who's now
Hello, Wendy.
Open-eyed and ready to talk about mastering our energy. I really would love to hear what you have to say about this, Susana.
So I guess taking a step back, when you talk, like, how do you master your energy? Well, I mean, an easy way to start is kind of assessing the spaces and places where you get triggered, or the things that you have a lot of resistance to, that give you dramatic pause. The behaviors in others that, really make you angry or upset you. Your own response to, I am using air quotes, problems, because how you define problems. I was working with a client the other night. We were talking about when you catastrophize things, make things catastrophic when they actually aren't. And when you can start to notice when some of these patterns, or I call them systems, right? We create systems. If we have a system of catastrophizing things, right? Everything is really, really a big deal. We should look at it. This is not undermining the fact that, something has happened and needs to be tended to. Absolutely not. But are you exerting or giving away more energy around this than you need to?
Yes.
When you are present, right in this moment, right in this moment, right in this moment, you are the most powerful. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. And we are trained distracted, to worry about stuff that previously happened, and to worry about what's going to happen in the future, be in a panic about what the next steps for the future are, feeling regret for the past. I mean, there's so many things that, I mean, too many to rattle off in this moment, that keep us out of this present moment. I want to talk a little bit about worrying about or regretting or feeling bad about something that happened in the past. Again, we go back to validating your feeling, validating, tending to the feeling, and being clear that whatever, I'm not someone that says, oh, well, everything that happens is a big lesson and it's good for you, right? It may not be a big lesson. It may have just sucked. Right? And
yes,
do we want to spend our time back there, or do we want to open ourselves to experience something else?
yes.
And it comes down to a choice. And I know it doesn't feel like a choice, but when we start to learn to master our energy, we can recognize what we're doing, disrupt that system, and turn our attention and our energy towards the present and what is next. And from that place, we can know, do I need to go back and make amends with someone? Is there something I need to clean up?
Right.
And when you can do that from your present moment, not from the energy of the past, you actually can have better outcomes. So that's being more masterful and taking accountability for things.
Yeah. And, you know, some of the tools we use help us to actually actively, if we choose to, pull our energy and attention out of that stuff. We're just holding it. And we need that energy here now.
We
We
need
need that attention. We need the intention. We need the focus now.
Yeah. We can start to sort of separate the core of who we are from anxiety rather than defining ourselves by it. And then it becomes something that feels easier, I'm going to use the word again, to tend to, than something so ingrained in ourselves that, like, you know, we're all just messed up and it's very hard to fix. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I really want to, like, this is so important. And it's not just anxiety. There's other emotions and vibrations,
Absolutely.
but the anxiety is so prevalent. And so that, yeah, there's the anxiety of others that we're carrying and our own patterns that just continue to, Michael likes to say, my partner likes to say, you know, when you solve problem number one, problem number two gets a promotion. It's like, oh, I'm done worrying about that. Now I have to start worrying about this. It's like
Yes.
these never ending patterns of anxiety. The pattern itself can be resolved as well as the energy.
Exactly.
And it's so important. And then understandably, I mean, I know I've worked with a lot of people that it's like, it feels like it's just okay, it's me, but it's happening, it's just constantly happening to me, which is a victim experience. So it's like it's terrible. It's like it's a 1-2 punch of like terrible anxiety, but like the perception of inability to control it, inability to make it stop. The waves just keep coming.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. And, you know, I just hope that people hear, if they're having issue with this, that, you know, we see a lot of change about this. And then also, then it frees up a whole lot of stuff so that I can be with my body and my body experience and just allow what is happening to happen. I can then notice what my body's desires and needs are, and I can choose how to handle them, and eventually, you know, be more captain of my life, which is what all this is leading to.
Talking about how our perfect pictures about how things should be take us out of neutrality, or any, if, like, sort of living with this idea that, oh, when's the other shoe going to drop, right? Or when something is, you know, nothing ever goes right for me. When's it going to happen? And the bad thing going to happen. And the practice of neutrality, I love what you said, be here now with. And that's it. In this moment, be here now with.
Yeah.
If we can practice that, it's fascinating how some of the other stuff just starts to unhook and sort of melt away itself. I mean, we can intentionally do some of that, but even just that, I mean, I think it's so powerful. And it's not just be here now, it's be here now with. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that you added that.
Yes. And the marrying of the physical senses and the spiritual senses and actually being willing to believe them is extraordinarily powerful.
Yeah.
And while we were talking, for some reason, I remembered a friend of mine uh, talks about this tracking school, and I looked it up, and it's like they do similar things. It's like they marry the physical things. Oh, the bent leaf, or I don't know, how you track animals, looking for where they were, and they marry that with, openings to some soul senses, and like it goes through the roof of their capacity to
Yes.
actually notice where the animal went.
Yeah.
And this is where we come from. We came from hunter-gatherers. I mean, we needed this. We needed to be able to know what the animals were doing, both to um, make sure that our people were safe, to be able to hunt and eat, to be able to make sure we're not being hunted.
Yeah.
We needed to know.
We
And
needed to
so
know.
this is stuff that has been honed, and a lot is lost, but it's been honed through time. Our rationality has overplayed sometimes and said, no, no, that's crazy. The demon haunted world. Oh, no, no. Let's just believe the rational. Love the rational, but it's not the only information from my perspective.
Yeah, it's not the only information from my perspective either. And, we talk about our history and sort of where we come from, the hunter and gatherer, and like we can extrapolate that and look at the people in the world that I think like artists and innovators understand innately this marrying of the physical and
Yes.
the mystic, if you will. I'm not sure all these people would call it
Yeah. And I
mysticism,
don't care.
intuition, gut feeling, like muse,
Yes.
right? The
Mhm.
muse. Uh,
Mhm.
every great, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say every great scientific invention, discovery started with someone having some drive, some certainty that this particular thing or this particular
Mm.
hidden place was out there, and let's see what we can find.
Cool.
It all begins with that idea and then like a knowingness that yeah, that's a thing, or that's my path. I'm certain that that's
Yes.
my path to uncover or discover or whatever, pioneer that.
Yes. Being in the flow and just enjoying the
Yeah.
presence and the movement, and allowing inside there's a momentum instead of like the
Yes.
river's flowing instead of I'm making it all happen with
Yeah.
what? What? My mind, my emotions, they're just annoying me. Um,
Yeah.
so la 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 la.
Hmm.
Yeah, so all this unlocks our deep natural strength, our deep natural courage, our deep natural unstoppability and inexorability. Like we
Yeah.
access a kind of strength and courage in this flow of divine power, or whatever you want to call it, that we didn't have before.
Totally.
Mhm.
Totally. And I do want to circle back to your singing that song and whistling because it's great. And like singing, sounding, sound can actually help uh activate this. Singing helps activate this within you. And that could be another topic, because I know you and I both love to sing, but it's such a great little addition to help you tap into this and be in the flow of that
Yes.
movement.
Yeah, well, the vibration is just another way to say blessing is another way to say, right? It's like, can we be in that vibration or those waves or whatever you want to say?
Yeah,
there's a whole lot of ways to say it.
Yeah.
And so I forgot. I think the most important conversation to have about this is that power has such a bad rap for good reasons, right? Like I wouldn't even think about wanting any power until I was about 30, because I was just like, power sucks. Power did bad things to me, and lots of bad things in the world, and I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't true spiritual power. That was force. That was out of control. Someone trying to get what they needed, or out of control emotion or whatever.
Out of control emotion, out of whatever trauma or ego or or whatever. And it's that's not what we're talking about at all.
We're not. And like just that disambiguation makes such a huge difference. Okay, all the bad things, everything, all the bad things are over here in force. Physical force. If there's good, positive things happening, they're over here in the spiritual power. Like we keep talking about, I like to start with the energy. I like to start with the blessing. Can I start to allow the flow of from heaven, from earth, from within our own soul, the true to flow? And that naturally starts to move the energy. And then from there, the soul patterns and the thought patterns and the emotion pattern, they get more freed up. Just with the energy. And we also have some stuff around that helps us break the patterns that are just how it is.
Yeah, just how it is.
And my favorite healing tool, and it helps this and almost everything else, is present time. Besides the grounding in the center knot, is present time, because in present time, not so bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's it's so important, because in this moment, everything is okay. In this moment, everything's okay, right? Everything is okay in this moment and in this moment and in this moment. And if you can, then in stringing the moments together, then that helps. It helps break apart these invalidation systems that we have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just becomes the world we live in, and it doesn't have to be. It really can get totally deconstructed.
Absolutely.
It takes a minute.
It takes a minute. Well, minute reminds me of time, and it reminds me that it's time for a break.
Thank you, We Are Historically, for your conscious human apparel. Shop online at wearehistorically.com.
Hey everyone, just a friendly reminder that on the first Tuesday of every month, we hold a Mystic Revolution meditation, and you're invited. Just go to our website and you'll find the link. We look forward to seeing you then.
Raise your vibration and energize your life with specialized Fibonacci tuning forks that deepen meditations and empower self-healing. Get your vibrational sound tools for personal enhancement at energybodytuners.com.
Welcome back to Mystic Revolution, and Susana and I are talking about the great work. It's very exciting, and I'll just put it back to you, Susana, because I can't even do a quick recap, and then you're going to get into Libido, the last one.
Right. So we sort of talked about the first three alchemical stages, Negretto, denotes blackness, sort of burning things down into the ashes, and stripping away all the stuff that keeps us encumbered. Then albedo is sort of the whitening, they call it the whitening, represents purification and sort of the stepping forward of the pure essence within you, the pure essence of who you are, allowing more space, awakening to that. Then we step into citrinitas, and it's kind of an extension of the purification. It's sort of the bridge between purification and sort of then the fourth stage, which is rubido, which is actualization. But from my mind and the work that Wendy and I do, it's allowing the essence, the spirit, to then step into embodiment, right? Getting out of just the idea and the sensation of that pure spiritual essence, and bringing it into the body, bringing it into daily life to make it real. And this is where, this goes back to some of the key principles of mastering your energy, which Wendy covered. Integrity. This is where integrity comes in. Let's just rattle off some of the principles, because really this is where all of that, right, comes to play. Are you going to be that? Are you going to practice these things? Because this is where it really gets baked in.
Yes. Yes. So you in freedom, empowerment, seniority, soul sovereignty, integrity, which is alignment with truth and aligning ourselves, having coherence.
Yeah.
And
amusement. I remember one.
What?
Amusement was one.
Amusement, playfulness, and taking things lightly, and certainty, like actually believing our inner experience, and neutrality, having equanimity and spiritual perspective. So yeah, 7
Yeah, and so when you think of certainty and neutrality, those things are, all of those are important to hold, but as you are really going through this integration, holding your certainty about the process,
Yes.
right? And being neutral and even amused by some of the things that happen, whether it's, oh, there I go again kind of thing, or, the universe says, oh, you really think you are, letting go of that or overcoming this. Well, let's see. I don't know how many of you have ever had that happen, but often you'll get an enormous dose of that which you were trying to leave or shift.
Yes.
And I always just try and view it as like, yeah. Am I going to walk my talk through this? We have great works in all aspects of our lives, whether it's in relationships or in professional life or in, allowing a creative talent to come out. Every aspect. And it's not just you go through it once.
Yeah.
The phoenix rises and then burns to the ground and then rises and rises again, maybe in a different way, maybe to a different level. Right?
Yes.
It's like the evolutionary process that is within the larger body of our own, greater work.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love owning that magnum opus. I love that it's possible. I love that there's beauty created beyond the everyday by us being in the world and really engaging. It's such a blessing to be part of the beautiful music made here.
It is.
As psychic mystic healers that we are, there's two things going on. You're making the energetic shift, which happens fast, fast.
Yeah, fast.
But then then birthing that into our body and our life in a world, it can happen fast or it can happen glacially, and it's okay. And I just want to say, like, there's some fear for people about this. It's like there's so many times I'm working with somebody and they're like, I don't want to make this change because it'll affect this person, it'll ruin this relationship, my job, whatever. I'm like, no, no, no. We're just making an energy change here. No one knows.
Yeah.
We're just making the energy change. And then when you're ready, you and your body and your life, and you want to explicate that freedom that you found within into your world, you can.
Yes.
Right. So, like, really disambiguating these two things is very helpful because at least we can get freedom here.
I love that. Yeah.
We can get freedom here. And
Yeah.
then, oh, I might not want to show it because my husband or because my job or because my parent, like whatever. Fine. But then you just play along, but you know you're playing
Yes.
along. And then one
Yeah.
day you're just like, I'm done with this. And like things change.
And things change. I talked a little bit about the idea of being full on you, and it is in day-to-day life for sure, but it is bigger than that.
Yes.
And the awareness of the multidimensionality of you, of the world, and of the intertwining of all the things. And I mean, this is a whole other show we will speak to, I'm sure, but that how we operate in the world does matter.
Yes.
And when we can use this framework or this metaphor of the great work to help us map ourselves where we are and understand that in each phase it is temporary, and that as we go through the cycles we can elevate, expand, become more of who we are. It's not just more of our personality or more of our confidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's an actualization and an activation of the soul senses in a bigger way. And as Wendy was speaking to, this visioning,
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And
And being the
so,
light, just being the
uh,
light.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and this isn't, right. We all have free will. We all get to do what we want with our lives. We really do. So this is not any judgment on anyone who doesn't want to do this or doesn't think this way. I mean, that's the beauty of it. We all get to.
Yeah.
And if feels interesting to people, or you're noticing these things in your own life, that you can dial deeper into it, and they can be super helpful
Yeah.
in feeling better and getting unstuck and tending to some of the really hard stuff about being a human.
Yes. When it's really happening, when we're really in the flow of the goodness, then it's us and them. And so it makes it easier to do lots of things. Like if I'm in soul certainty, I'm honoring my truth, and I'm honoring your truth. And some people are like, how do you do that? It's like, well, if I allow the spiritual blessing of it to heal me and shift and practice it, I can't not do it.
Right.
There's no trying. There's no should. It's just, this is what it looks like. This is the litmus test. If I am saying my truth is valid for me, and your truth is not valid for you, you better believe what I say. That's a litmus test of like, I'm not really in spiritual certainty.
Yeah.
I'm in
And
domination.
yeah, I'm in domination. I have to be right or something, right? And there's just something quite exquisite about the idea that we can hold our certainty. We can be in that love vibration. We can be in the um, the energy of this interconnectedness and be present to someone who has a radically different experience, a
Yes.
radically different opinion, a radically different idea of the world without making them wrong, without shaming them, without demanding that, our point of view be acknowledged.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's, it doesn't just change us and our direct relationships, but it really changes the world, and it helps us all to a tipping point where it just becomes normalized
Yeah.
that we can hold multiple perspectives. We can mature and become energy masters to really allow. And you've talked about this to me before, a binocular view, multi-view, and then we can perceive better together.
We
If we
can. I love that. We can perceive better together.
I'm sure everybody can tell, like, there's just so much to everything we're talking about. There's so much to it, so it's hard to stop. But here we are.
Here we are, and we will talk more next season. But thank you so much for being with us. We so appreciate talking with you and sharing this information. And please reach out to us if you want. Leave comments, ask questions. And before we say goodbye, we'll just do a quick little meditation out. So go ahead and just let yourself close your eyes again and find that space where your bright, beautiful heart is illuminated and you're connected to the heart of the earth and to the heart of the sky. And allow yourself the possibility that you are part of that universal life force, that interconnectedness of all that is, and that you are worthy of love, and that you are able and capable of working with energy, of mastering your energy. Let's go ahead and fill up again. Allow yourself to be in that beautiful beingness of light and of love. And with that, we say goodbye to you and send you lots of love and blessings. And we will see you next season on the Mystic Revolution.
Yay!
And that concludes this portion of Mystic Revolution. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to get notified of new content. And don't forget to like and share. Join the Mystic Revolution. Click on the link in the description to get more information or visit themysticrevolution.com. Another creative art production by Retro Earth Studio.
You don't have to be like super spiritual to be able to get real value out of this conversation about mastering our energy. Oh, Susana, I love the way you speak about this. I'm thrilled.
Oh, I'm thrilled how you're speaking about it. This is a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited about this. Thank you so much for playing with us.
We're just so grateful you're here. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments below.
And thank you to our sponsors for making this show possible.